Welcome to part 2 of the YouTube series for Infor CRM mobile development. In part 1, we covered setting up a developer environment. Now we're going to take it a step further and set up our first customization using the open source Argo sample code on GitHub. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is clone the Argo sample code on GitHub. So we're going to go to the Sales Logics organization, Argos-sample. Make sure we're on the master branch, and we're going to go ahead and copy the clone URL. We're going to go ahead and go into the root directory where we cloned Argos SDK and Argo Sales Logics. So go ahead and go into the products folder. We're going to open a git bash, and we're going to go ahead and clone Argo sample. We're going to go ahead and make sure we're on the master branch as well, and we are. So go ahead and open a command prompt in Argo sample, and we're going to run npm install. Go ahead and close that. We're going to want to copy the index.dev sample file right here, HTML. And we're going to go ahead and paste it in Argo Sales Logics. Now we're going to go ahead and open another command prompt, and we're going to go ahead and start that web server. So we're going to run yarn run start. And I'm already running it, so it's right there. So now we're going to open our browser. We're going to go to localhost 8000. We're going to go into products, Argo Sales Logics, and we're going to go ahead and open that index.dev sample file we just copied. Make sure there's no errors. And make sure we can log in. And we're good. The next thing we want to do is just make sure our customization is loaded properly. So go ahead and open the accounts list and the account detail. And you can see up here in the toolbar there's a say hello, and when you click it, hello world pops up. So our customization is in fact loaded okay. Now let's go ahead and visit some of the files that are important to a customization. I think this will give a good overview of what you need to be editing and how it interacts with the deploy process in AA, or Application Architect. So let's go ahead and go into the Argo sample folder. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Visual Studio Code editor. The first file we're going to look at is the module info JSON file. So this is just a quick metadata file that Application Architect's going to read when it loads your customization. And I'll go ahead and show that real quick. So we're going to go ahead and open Application Architect, go to the Portal Manager. We're going to expand the CRM, the Sales Logics mobile portal. And then source files, products. And we're going to go ahead and add an existing folder. Then we're going to go ahead and just add Argo sample. Now if we double click the portal, so the portal page comes up, and we click custom modules, you can see sample is now loaded in here with all that metadata from the JSON file right here. So if we go and look at it, you can see the module name, everything's carrying over. Now in order to deploy this customization when you deploy mobile, you have to have this checkbox checked. Otherwise the module will not build and deploy. Now let's go ahead and explore a few other files that are needed when AA builds and deploys. The first one is going to be under Argo sample Under the build folder, there's a release JSB2. There's a packages section right here on line 5. And this is going to include all the JavaScript that's going to get built. So here are all the individual JavaScript files. These are going to get concatenated into argosample.js, and it's going to go under the content JavaScript folder, which is a convention we use for our other JavaScript within the application. There's also a resource section where you can specify other CSS or image files that you want to get deployed out. Also in Argo sample, we have a module fragment.html file. So this is just a really short 3-line file, and AA is going to read this file, and it's going to insert your scripts or CSS into the index.aspx file. So any scripts, so you can see we specify the content, JavaScript, Argo sample, so you would want to specify the output. Now let's go ahead and check out where that gets injected. So we're going to go ahead and open the Argo sales logics and then index.aspx. Now on line 12 here we have a placeholder for custom modules. Do not remove the line below. And then on line 13 we have a modules marker. So when AA builds and deploys, it's going to read for this marker, and it's going to inject your module fragments into this section here. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like when we build and deploy. So we're going to go back to Application Architect. We're going to go to the mobile portal, which is under the Deployment Explorer mobile portal. One last thing before I deploy this, make sure your custom module is checked, otherwise it will not get deployed. So we're going to right click mobile, and we're going to go ahead and deploy. So now we can go into C drive where we deployed it, inet pub, ww root, slx mobile, and then let's go ahead and look at the content, JavaScript. We could see Argo sample made it there, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and look at that index.aspx and see if our module fragment is included there. So if we go and look, here's line 12 where the placeholder comment was, and you can see our module fragment was injected right here. So now when we go and load this website, your scripts in CSS will be included. So let's open up our browser and make sure it will load correctly. So we're going to go to localhost SLX mobile. I'm going to go to hit F12 for the developer console. I'm going to go to sources, content, JavaScript. Argo sample is being loaded. So now our deployed website is ready to go as well. And that's going to be all for part 2. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I look forward to seeing you in part 3.